Okay, this wraps up this next unit. So we're on section 9.4, and when you're done with this, you're done with that next two chapters that we will test over. And I feel like if you have a handle on graphing, this will come pretty naturally. So instead of graphing a line, we are now going to graph an inequality. And since inequalities have more than one answer, we're going to do some shading. And so I typed everything out for you right here. If it is a less than, sometimes we still get confused when we see those, or I know students that do, I don't know that you do individually. When they see these signs, they still aren't quite sure if it's less than or greater than. Less than, if the line goes like this, then we're going to shade underneath that line. So that's what I mean by shade under. If it's less than or equal, oh, and I should probably do this. If it's just less than, you're going to dot out your line. So you're going to dot it out like that. Okay, because it doesn't include the line itself. If it's less than or equal to, if it's equal, we're going to have a solid line. So if you have a line going like this, then again, you would shade under the line. And then the opposite is true for the greater than or the greater than and equal to. So then we're going to shade above the line. But I'm just going to make a mess of things if I write that all out. Okay, so let's get started. Our first couple examples, I've already put it in y equals mx plus b form because I feel like we've practiced that often. So we're going to go up 4 right here for our y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our slope is -2/1. So down to right 1, down to right 1. You might want to go up 2 and to the left, up 2 and to the left. And then because there's no line right here, no line, we need a dotted. So we're going to need to dot our, so I can either use the dash or the dot. And so we would connect like that. And then y is less than. Again, that alligator math going to the bigger side. So this is the bigger side. So the y's have to be smaller. Which direction is smaller? The numbers get smaller as we go down. So we need to shade over here. Let's do it again. Vertical line through x at -3. So here's our x-axis. Left 1, 2, 3. Put our dot. I'm just going to put a few dots there so I can kind of not miss my mark. There is a line here, so you know it's going to be solid. So that's a really easy way to remember when it's solid and when it's dotted. So solid line through that. And then think about which side we're saying is bigger. The alligator mouth is pointing here, so this is the bigger side. So when is x bigger than 3? To the left or to the right? It's definitely to the right. So we're going to just kind of scribble shade over here to show that it's all of that. All right, apparently I felt like we did need some more practice here, so oh, I know why. Okay, so remember this is going to be a negative right here. When we divide or multiply by a negative and we have an inequality, we have to remember to flip. So let me write that down below. 2x minus 4y is greater than 8. Greater than 8. All right. So let's take that 2x to the other side. Minus 4y is greater than minus 2x plus 8. Divide by -4. Divide by -4. divide by -4. When I go to write the final version, this right here is going to flip because I'm dividing by a negative. So it's going to be y less than +1/2 x minus 2. Let's go up here and graph that. -2, +1/2, up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, or down 1, left 2, and then it is greater than that. So I need to do, there's no line underneath here. So even though you flip it, there's still no line. So we're going to have a dotted situation. And we're now, since we flipped it, it is going to be underneath. So we're going to shade under. So it's all of that right there. Okay. How does this problem compare to the next one? Well, you can see that not only are we going to do one piece, we're going to do like one line where we have two lines here. We need to get them into y equals mx plus b. So this one, notice how you're going to switch that because we have this negative y right here. So this one is going to switch. It's going to end up being y is greater than, the x will turn negative, but it'll turn back positive. You can pause it and work that out, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to get. And then here, it's going to be y less than or equal to -x plus 4. Okay, so we're going to graph both of those on the same graph. So the top one, down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, put my dot, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. So it's going to be this graph right here, and it's going to be dotted because I don't have that line. And I would probably just do a little shading if it's possible. That's why I started using the highlighter. This is going to be above. This is y is bigger. Where are the y's bigger? Up here. Okay, so you'd want to shade just kind of lightly when you have two of them. And then when I graph the second one, now I can still see all of my grid. So up 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I go down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. This is going to be a solid line. So I want to make sure it's on solid. And this one, it looks like it is underneath. So y's are going to be smaller. So if I'm looking at that solid line, where are the y's smaller? Everywhere in this region. And you can tell where it turned green. What is the solution region for both? Well, yellow and blue make green. So this is the region here. And you don't have to go back and erase, but this is not part of the solution, and this is not part of the solution. It's just right there. So as long as you understand that of the four kind of areas that these two lines have carved out of my grid, there's only one area that is correct for both lines. And that's what we do. All right, so I have 4, I believe, a couple at least, additional examples here. And it's just going to practice that exact same thing over and over and over again. I have 2, I have variations on that theme, so you're not thrown when you see different things in the homework. So these are horizontal lines. They are dotted, both of them. One is happening, it looks like at -3. One is happening at +2. And now I have to make sure I could either end up shading in between those lines or outside of those lines. And so where is y bigger than -3? Well, above. And where is y under 2? So it looks like it's going to be this area right here. So that worked out well. In this example, take that 2x to the other side. We're going to have y greater than or equal to 2x plus 1. Take that 2x to the other side. We're going to have y less than 2x minus 2. So we're going to graph those. Up 1, slope is up 2, right 1, or down 2, left 1. This is going to be a solid, and I'm going to shade above the line. Okay. And on the next one, I'm going to go down 2, and then I'm going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. These lines are pretty close to each other, so I'm trying to be very accurate here. This is going to be a dotted. So up 2 over 1. They are going to cross at some point. I don't know if that you can tell. Oh no, they are parallel. My bad. They should look parallel. They are parallel. All right, let's see. Let's try to make it I kept expecting, I didn't look at it carefully enough. Maybe this one should, there we go. All right, now they actually look like what they are. The slopes are the same, 2 and 2. They look parallel on my graph. So up here, I've got the yellow. We haven't shaded the dotted one yet. So let's shade the dotted one. It looks like it is underneath. So it's down here. That's odd. I guess I didn't scribble it enough. There is no space where it's both yellow and pink in the same region. So this one is an example of no solution. So this one actually is no solution. There is not a region where it's both pink and yellow. Let's go back in case you missed that, because I kind of didn't graph that. These lines are parallel, but they're in between the lines for the shading, so it worked out perfect. These lines are parallel, but the regions were on the opposite, like away from each other. And so there is no solution because there's no overlap. All right. Here's one for us already done in the right form. Both are going to be solid lines. So down 3, 1, 2, 3, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, or down 1, left 2. Solid. And I shade this one above. Sorry, shade this one above. So I go up. And then here I have to start at +4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I go down 1. Remember, if it's a negative x, it down 1, right 1. So down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. And it's going to also be solid. And it's going to be underneath. So this is going to be below the red line. So it's going to be down here. So where do I see both red and blue? I see it in this region right here. So this is the solution. And again, I haven't used my math lab on this particular lesson before, So you might want to do it out on scrap paper. I'm thinking as I'm talking about it, I remember seeing that most of them are multiple choice. So you might want to go to a scrap, like print out some graph paper, graph it out, and then you can pick the one because you know which one that is. That's definitely what I would do. All right. How is this one different? Well, these can get pretty complicated, and they actually can go into word problems, and there's a lot of practical application with this. We don't dive into all of that in this class, but this one, we are bound by another line, so to speak. There's 3 lines we need to, and then we need to make sure that all 3 lines have a solution space. So our first line, x equals 0, is just that y-axis. So we're going to be only over here in this area, okay? But I'm going to erase that. We just need to remember that it's only going to be on the right side of that red line. And then we're going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 2, right 3. Down 2, 1, 2, 3. Down 2, 1, 2, 3. And up to left 3. We have a dotted line, and we're shading under. So dotted line. And we're going to shade below that line. So we're to the right of the red, we're under the green, so now we're down to this space. Let's see what that third line brings. That third line is going to go down 3. So 1, 2, 3. Our slope is a positive 4 over 1. So up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. It is going to be a solid line. Oops, sorry. Oh, and I don't have my little line thing. Okay. If I try to erase that. Okay, fair enough. So many things I have to click. There we go. And we are above that. So we have to be to the right of the red, under the green, and above the black, which leaves us not that many options, but hopefully you can see that it's going to be, I picked this one specifically so that sometimes you can see that it's bound by like a very specific, here it's a triangle, it could be any shaped polygon depending on how many lines you have and what region it is. So that is the solution set there. I didn't give us a ton on the homework of 3, but I did include a few. Usually one of them is either a horizontal or a vertical line, so it adds a little simplicity to the graphic. And that ties into like how the word problems look if you do word problems for this in your future college algebra classes. So, all right, end of the unit. So good luck on the review. Please reach out with any questions. As always, text me when you need help, and all of those good things so I can assist you. Take care, everyone.